Well, I'm back here in Babcock, where I like to film my videos for this channel, which I've never posted one to. I was trying to live stream this, but I don't meet the eligibility to do it over my mobile device. But I still can via webcam or other types of software. I wanted to live stream it because I've made several videos over the course of the last year, from maybe it's almost been about a year now, maybe the end of August 2018 to about now, July 7th, 2019. And you know, the focus of my videos was the law of attraction, which I really got into because I realized there was a lot to it. And there's a car coming. And that's what I'm going to talk about, fear. I'm going to talk about fear. Not the law of attraction, although that's what this started off as that. Because I discovered it's so true, it's so real, that you always get what you want. You get what you fixate on, you get what you think about, and you get what you walk towards. You get what you truly want inside your heart. But man, fear, like, I remember when I shot my first video that I haven't posted yet. I will. I hope I post this one, you know. That's why I just wanted it to stream. But I walk around here and talk about that and how I apply it to my life. But tonight I want to talk about fear and God, because I've noticed that fear is rampant. It's on the rise, and it's not just me. Like I notice it in people when I walk by them. I'm a very friendly person at a relatively small and safe town, but I'll say like hi to people, and people that you would expect to not be afraid, you know, like a big muscle guy who's got a lot of tattoos and piercings. I'll get to that too, but you know, I'll say hi and then they'll kind of flinch. Like people like that shock me the most when they're afraid. It's just a lot of people. They're afraid of I don't know what it is, but I believe it's that we're losing our personal touch with God. And I wrote a book on it. I wrote a book on my personal struggles with my own demons and whatnot. God, I can't see because the light is blinding me, but I like to walk. I wrote it by hand, so I'm still typing it up. But yeah, I thought on that. I used to look like one of those people. I used to like have my hair long, and I'd have piercings, and I got a few tattoos, which I regret. But I wanted to like give the impression that, you know, like, I'm fearless. Don't mess with me, man. Yeah. But it was so untrue at that time in my life. I was so hurt, you know, just from the loss of like my dearest friends, and from just being a drug addict, just a derelict, living in sin, living a hedonistic lifestyle. I was afraid because I even though I didn't totally lose contact with God, I was beginning to, and I had let it go. And then luckily, man, 3 years ago on June 20th, my twins were born, and they showed me that they showed me God again. They brought me right back. And boy, was I afraid. I was afraid when Nikki told me she was pregnant. I was terrified. Oh my God, I was just at the height of a horrible drug addiction, horrible opiates, benzos, Xanax, you know, and I didn't know what to do. And then a week or two after that, 3 years ago, or maybe about 3 years and 9 months ago, around this time, or less, because they were early, because they were twins. She told me they were twins. Oh, fear got me. But it wasn't like I can't. It was just a fear of change, I think, is what it was. It wasn't like a fear of like, oh, there's a bear right there that's gonna jump me. You know, like I'm gonna die. No, it was just a fear of like your life is going to change, but it's gonna be great. I was afraid, man. I didn't know what to do, dude. I'm like still struggling to get on my feet, to get to the point. My dream is just to live in the woods peacefully with my children and to raise them without evil touching them. I'm gonna sit down. I don't know if you've taken a look around at the world today, but it seems evil. It seems evil, and a lot of good people get chastised for speaking certain truths or for calling certain things out, which I don't have to do right now. You might know what I'm talking about, you may not. I hope you do. I really do. Because if we don't get back to God, and I was raised Catholic, so for me, it's very Christ. It's a very deep connection with getting back to Christ, getting back into my Catholic church, or like, you know, a Greek Orthodox would be good. I don't know. It would be hard for me to get with a Protestant church just because I have that Catholic upbringing where, like, you know, I had a really good priest growing up. He was like a true priest. I know that there's been scandals, and a lot of that is just infiltration to try to destroy the church, to try and destroy us by infiltrating otherwise good organizations, good churches with evil people. But fortunately, I grew up and I went to a Catholic school, and I went to a good Catholic church, St. Mary's, here in Dansville. And Father Andy, man, like he was just he was what, in my mind, a priest should be. Just kind, loving, you know. There was no creepiness, you know. There was no, like, you know, like, I get confused when people talk about priests being sexual. Because I've never experienced that, and man, I feel for you. I feel for the people that have. I know that we did have a priest in this town that was a chomo, was a fucking pedo, and he diddled some of my friends' parents, which sucks. But I believe that pedos in the church, it's like, is it by design, you know? I don't know, it makes you wonder. It's something you have to answer for yourself, but man, for me, I still have demons to struggle with. I still wrestle with drug addiction, but my addiction is to prescription medications that are all fine and dandy, all legal, and all taken, you know, taken as prescribed, but still, I still bow to that, excuse me, I still bow to that master. I still bow to drugs. Doesn't matter if they come from a doctor or a dealer on the street, in my opinion, really. I mean, my doctor's, he's a nice guy. He's a very nice guy. My doctor is actually a guy who is very in touch with God. He's a fellow Christian. I don't know his denomination, but I see in these people who truly have that faith in God. And for me, it's Christians I know, because I live in a small town, you know. I know a few Muslim guys who have that. I knew one Jewish guy. He was my counselor years back. He was a great guy. He had faith in God. I think he went, I don't know, more the Buddhist route, but he was more, it was Old Testament. I don't really know, man, but like when he would write God on the board, he'd put the O, because apparently Jewish folks don't spell out God, but you know, he didn't have any fear. And Father Andy didn't, Father Stephen, I'm Nikki's aunt, Sheila doesn't, and you know, they go with God's plan. They know whatever comes because it is supposed to. And I guess to me, and I think to you, I don't know if anybody will ever watch this. I don't have any subscribers. This will be the first video I've ever posted. And I'm gonna post it, man. Like, I don't really care. The book I've written is also about, it goes deep into, you can't care about what people think of you or else you're doomed. That's a demon that feeds the ego. But, what was I talking about? Yeah, trusting God's plan. For me, I think for most people, if you're a good person and you're truly living a life without sin, or at least like you're sorry for your sins, like you truly are. Whether, I don't know really what Protestants do, but as a Catholic, like you go find a priest, like a good priest. The priest I confess to is a monk. He's the real deal. And like you talk it out, but you talk it out with God too, man. You get down on you and you're like, you gotta be sorry, man. And I'm not even fully there yet with the prescriptions. I truly believe that if I fell to my knees, I was just like, God, I don't want to be a slave anymore. I don't want to be a slave to big pharma. I don't want to be a slave to these foreign chemicals I'm ingesting every day just to feel, you know, just to feel a little bit not sick or whatever, a little bit not, just to not have achy legs or whatever, to not be a little anxious. He would be there because I've done it before. I've fallen to my knees. This is the strangest thing. I've done that. And the fool that I am, being tricked by the devil himself, wherever he is, you know, the devil, he's all over the place. Just like, I felt good. I've been like, oh, I feel so good. Might as well take my medication. I've never really just not taken it. There was one day I really like had a deep personal talk with God, and like I was crying and like really like that might sound certifiably insane these days. They're trying to break our connection with God. They really are. Like, you know, go tell a psychiatrist that you sit and talk with God, they'll lock you up, right? But anyways, I had this really deep personal talk with God, and yeah, it's a one-sided conversation, but I feel him. He's there. I can feel him, and he'll communicate in ways, you know he does. And I felt fine. I woke up, I didn't take any of my medication, and I felt fine. I went over to a friend's house, and my kids and Nikki and I were playing with my friend who, this guy I think also is a good example, but I was just there, and I said to Nikki, like, oh my, I didn't take my medicine today. Usually I take some in the morning, or I'll convince myself, I have a runny nose, I take Flonase too. I'll convince myself that, I didn't take my medicine. I'm gonna start feeling, I'm gonna be in pain. Oh, I'm gonna hurt. But it didn't come. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, oh no, I didn't take it. I let the devil in because the devil uses fear, man. That's his tool. The devil will use fear on you. God uses love and encouragement and hope. Hope. That's what you hold on to, and faith, and have faith. And man, like I have it, and then I just that fear comes in, and when I think about it, I get angry at myself for letting it in, and it's such a just a minuscule little medicine. I mean, in my eyes, that really doesn't affect me at all. But it's a foreign substance that I ingest on a daily basis because I was a massive opioid, whatever. I was a massive junkie, dude. I was a massive smackhead, doing Oxycontins left and right, heroin, and taking Xanax on top of that. And I stopped Xanax for 6 months. Like, I was fine. I was absolutely fine. I had 3 seizures when I was taking it in heavy doses years ago, but those 6 months I was fine. And I got afraid. My sister asked me to play the guitar at her wedding, and I let fear in. What will people think of me? Will they like my songs? Oh God. And I ran to my doctor. Doctor, I need some clonazepam, please. I'm just so terrified. And really, the devil's like, yeah. Just tell him that. You're gonna feel good. You have an excuse. You have an excuse to take that sweet stuff that makes you numb and just lets it all be nothing. Clonazepam wipes you out. If you don't know what it is, if you don't know what Xanax is, imagine being drunk without feeling any nausea or spinning. It's like a very clean, like thinking about it now, it makes me miss it because, let's be honest, man, it can be a little disheartening in this world, and it can be rough when you look around, and it can be painful when you see pain in the eyes of other people, or when you see pain in the eyes when you look in the mirror. It can be, frustrating when you turn on the news, or when you just see what's going on and think about, like, what's going on. And I have children, man, and I don't want this evil to touch them. Children are the most sacred beings on the face of the earth, anywhere, and there are people out there who want to hurt them, and people may call me crazy, but I mean, just look at it, dude. Just take a look for yourself. I'm not gonna get into it right now, but there are people who want to destroy innocence and purity. And these people, they're evil. That's Satan, man. God works through people, so does Satan. And the devil, he's been in all of us, sure, to different degrees. Like, I had the devil in me when I was doing drugs and just having promiscuous one-night stands. That was evil. But there are levels beyond that. Like, just, I don't even want to think about, let alone talk about. My God. The point is, dude, like, it's time. It's time for me. It's time for you. It's time for everybody to find God again. We all know Him. We all know Him. He made us. Every single one of us. Doesn't matter what race you are, or religion, or creed. There's got to stop. It's got to end the bickering and Like, oh, this guy's that or that and this, or that. Like the labels, man. We're all human beings, but I'm not trying to get into that John Lennon hippy dippy nonsense. It's just we're all humans. We all have a tribe. We're tribal. We can all be equal. Yet we can all have our tribes. We don't have to all blend together and melt. We can all be a different color in the crayon box and still be friends. You know what I mean? And we're all made by the same guy, pouring the crayons into the mold, making the wax. We're all made by God. Doesn't matter what color our crayon draws. We're all God's children, and it's just time we find him again. That's all I've got to say for right now. I'll do some more and maybe upload my videos. And hey, I mean, it'd be nice to have some followers, but honestly, like, this is for me. The ego is a dangerous thing. If I had like a lot of followers, the devil would creep in and just be like, you know. But it's nice to know you're not alone. All right, I know I'm not alone, and I hope you know you're not alone. Take care.